let's go through the folder structure of our app. First, the main project folder named after the app, restaurant app. Next, we have the assets folder, which contains static assets like images, fonts, and other media files. So inside it, we have the splash icon and the other media files. Next, we have the node models folder, which is an automatically generated folder containing project dependencies which have been installed by Yarn. Next, we have the get ignore, which specifies files and directories that should be ignored by Git. We also have the app.js file, which is the entry point for the app, where the main component is defined. So, as it is obvious, you can see we have some pre-written code inside our app.js file. Next, we have the app.json file, which is a configuration file for Expo, where settings like the app name, the version, and icons are defined. So in this case, our app name is restaurant app, and we have version 1.00, right? Next is our babel.config.js, which is also a configuration file for Babel, which is responsible for transforming our JavaScript code. So we take this Babel as our compiler, which compiles our JavaScript code. Next is the popular package.json file, which is a metadata about the project and its dependencies, scripts, and other configurations. So anytime we install a dependency, we are going to have it recorded in our package.json file. Then lastly, we have the yarn log, which is an automatically generated file by Yarn to log down the exact versions of our dependencies. So we don't want to be using different dependencies, different versions of dependencies here and there. We want to be using the exact versions that we have installed. So that's what yarn log actually does for us. So now let's go back to the entry point of our app, which is app.js. So as it is obvious, you can see that Expo has already generated some code for us. Now what we want to do next is to run this code just to see that everything is running perfectly. Now to run this code, we are first going to open our terminal. So Ctrl+Shift+ backtick to open a new terminal, and then we run yarn start. Now before we run our code, we have three options. The first option is to use Expo Go, an app on our phone. The second is to use Expo Snacks. And the third one is to use an Android emulator. So before we get in there, see you in the next episode as we go through these three options.